Hi everyone, welcome back to Poetology. Today, as promised, is part 2 of the video on collage books, and we'll be talking to my housemate Kat Peddy, who is a poet and a creative writing lecturer who is also very interested in collage. And she's going to talk about 3 books on artists who use collage and the relationship between collage and poetry. I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you at the other side.
Hey, so I wanted to show some collage books that I got into. So I think I got into them through like poetry. So one of the first ones I got was this John Ashbury one. So this is John Ashbury's Poems and Collages, and it came out a couple of years ago, pre-coronavirus, so a couple of years ago now. And it's got... well, this one's just a page of collages. This one's like a sort of like New York scene, and then it's like introduced acrobats. And what Ashbury does, I think, which I really, really like, is just sort of like make quite like familiar things like unusual. So here is that like New York skyline, and you've got that like really iconic picture like of builders on it, but instead here you've got acrobats. So he's pasted some acrobats on. And like he's doing this with like classic paintings as well. So I love like, so here's sort of like various versions of this painting, which you may or may not know, but he's got him like staring kind of wildly at these like various different things that he's collaged on. So he's always like doing a new thing with what the what's like in the plane. So in the original picture there's this guy kind of like staring at you, and there's this sort of sense of mirroring, and here it's kind of been made quite different. So, I really enjoyed what he was doing with like traditional painting, and then here we've got some poems. I think there's like some collages and some poems like called the same thing next to each other, but like written 40 years apart, and then it's kind of up to you, in the way that collage works actually, to work out whether or not there's like a relationship between those things and what that might be.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I got, again, this comes from like poetry, and so there's this poet called Helen Adams who is a collagist as well, although I didn't know for a very long time. So she's like mid-20th century San Francisco poet, and she wrote these like ballads. So I kind of assumed that was sort of weird and archaic, which it is, it's weird and archaic. And then I saw that she had this like collage book out, and it's like, you can see this, and it's like got this collage of like all of these cats, and immediately I was like, well, she seems like my kind of woman. So yeah, I got this collage book, and she is really, really into cats. So like, it's just like cats and scenarios. She does like other animals as well. So you've got this one. So there's this cat. And again, like I do seem to be really into sticking things into traditional painting, right? So that one is called Remember How I Warned You When You're Praying Too Late.
She's got amazing titles too.
Yeah, she has really, really good titles. Let's see if I can find one I really like. Oh, Rash Swimmer, I think is rather good. I'm going to try and find the backed one. I really like that one. I can find it. Oh, I just want to show you this because I was looking at this today, and this is my new favourite this morning. So that one's called And Complacent Lay. I love this, like, the look of the kitten and like the look of the woman, and like again like how they're kind of like put together, and I'm still not sure what to make of that comparison between that kitten and what I think is a bride actually. That's snakes, which I didn't actually realise when I got the book and excitedly gave it to a friend who's terrified of snakes. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. And this one is called perhaps no one will notice them. But at the back, she's actually got one of these ballads, but it's like illustrated. For me, it's like this puncturing of something that like seems quite serious with something that seems quite silly, which I guess is what the Ashbury was doing as well, and I kind of see that as like a form of camp. So there's this ballad called In Harpyland, Poem and Collages by Helen Adams, and it's got what sounds in some ways like a really kind of overwrought kind of ballad. So like I'll read a bit. It goes, in Harpyland, the grapes are guarded with rose spines. The roses revel on the vines, infernal roses on the vines in Harpyland. So you've got like all of those like tropes, right? But then the pictures are just like, this one's incredibly good actually. So but always I see the harpy face behind the rose, and it's just got this like angry bird sticking its face out of a rose. Or my absolute favourite of all of them. So obviously my favourite is the cat on the boat. I feel like that should be an obvious thing by now, considering how excited I got about cats earlier. And that one goes, across the river Styx I rode, a coal-black beauty was my load. I led her to the queen's abode, hand warm in hand. The queen was drunk with Pluto's wine. And like the effect of that, whilst you're also looking at this like massive king looking out over the river Styx, is, I think, amazing. So I love this. It was out, well, it had a limited print run and then was out of print for a few years, and I could only find it for like over £100, and then they did do a new print run, so I like grabbed some of that while I could.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I now want to like, because when I saw this and I'd only seen the cover and I'd seen all the cats and I was like, I fucking love this, and now I really want to like do something with wolves. So I've bought those, I think I've shown you these like postcards of like various different women and girls as well, like wearing red but all like looking quite different, and seeing if I can get them into a collage with wolves and what that might do. I
like that.
Yeah, there's one I think where like it'll just, the women will just sort of be ignoring the wolves and they'll be like doing whatever. Yeah. I'll see what happens with that. I seem to be quite into animals. So this last one is Eileen Agar, I think that's how you pronounce her name. And this is the exhibition book for an exhibition which just finished actually called Angel of Anarchy. And she's a surrealist artist. And she does... So collage is really good for surrealism, I think. Juxtaposition and surrealism. So she's got really like, I haven't shown like these ones. Well, you can see what they are. I think they're really, really cool. What's happening inside the heads of people. Again, like we've got a lot of, these aren't snakes, these are actually like sea snakes. That seems to be a theme that I hadn't even noticed I had, so great. And then I guess this one makes it more explicit what's happening, so I think. So this one's called Surrealist Collage. So I think it's kind of about what can be made out of what. So like the hands are like reaching for the roses, but the hands and the roses are all the same thing. Which I guess is a surrealism, right? Yeah, so those are my books.
Great, thanks for sharing. I hope this has given you a lot of ideas of what is possible with collage and got you intrigued by this art form and the techniques attached to it. I will put Kat's details in the description below if you want to follow her, and I am hoping to feature more discussions between me and Kat talking about how we incorporate collage into our poetry work and other arts that we create. And we might also talk about concrete poetry because Kat is interested in that. So I think there is a lot to look forward to. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to hear more about this and other poetry-related subjects. I am looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye!